we're watching Fooly Coolie, and I know currently we're having a poll going on our Patreon, so you get to pick what the next long series we watch is. This is only 6 episodes long, so we're going to do it in 2 parts. So that poll will be going on for whatever Patreon finally turns it off. I think it's like a couple days, but we will follow whatever that poll chooses for our next series that will consume the next year or so of our life. So between Evangelion and our next big series, it was left to me, the resident anime sicko, to pick what we were going to watch. And Tom picked something that just hit differently when he was a kid. And I picked something that hit differently when I was a kid. And I didn't know this until today, but in retrospect, it makes sense how these 2 shows are related. The show's creator was a guy named Kazuya Tsurumaki, who was the protege of Hideki Anno and was the assistant director of Evangelion.
Yep. Yeah, Ava, the show about being a teenager and wanting to kill yourself, and Fooly Coolie, the show about being a teenager and horny and not knowing what to do with it.
Also vaguely wanting to kill yourself in many ways. I went into production. This show's also made by Gainax, and also a few other studios, as it is an anime, so like 20 different companies are involved in it. It originally came out in the US in 2000 or 2001, depending on how you watched it. I watched on Adult Swim because I was an enlightened emo teen in the early 2000s. I looked into a lot of production notes here because, as you're probably both aware, the animation is very good, and so is the soundtrack.
It fucking whips.
It's like really good.
The anime concept of Sakuga on show in like every third shot in this, like, and so much like. There's so much references to like everything. It's why I watched 3 episodes when I got back from the gym this morning. I was like, I have no idea what's going on, but I know there's like Mamiya goggles, there's Olympus cameras, there's a 1965 Vespa scooter and a 76 Rickenbacker. Like what? And the music fucking whips.
The different guitars are going to be very important. Think of them as weapon upgrades later on. It is Naoto's Keyblade because it's opening portals to his own
We
skull.
don't have to do this, Joe.
We do. The entire soundtrack is done by a band called The Pillows, who I've seen live at an anime convention.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because that's the kind of person that I was, and most importantly, still am.
Yeah, Joe found it like very hard to mosh in his fursuit made out of stolen house insulation.
Not that kind of person, Tom.
Making your paws out of rock wool. It's the only fursuit that scratches back.
If I ever made a fursuit, it would look a lot like that episode of The Simpsons where Lisa was made to make her own costume. And I think if I remember correctly, she was a mattress with an orange tied to it, and she was Florida.
Why are we seeing more terrible fursuits? Like, why does every furry have a great suit? Is it just shameful to go out in like a shitty fursuit? Or am I just like I'm not in the furry conventions. I don't know.
I feel like enough furries listen to the show that we will find out the answer to that.
Yeah, I would love an answer to that.
And I'm honestly also curious because I know they're super expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why they all have good fursuits, as evidenced by that guy who posted his PayPal balance drawing furry art, they got money.
Oh, yeah, they got cash, right? I saw that too.
I'm really happy for them on that because, there's nothing worse than having a really expensive hobby but being pissed broke, which is why it took me to be like 37 until I bought my first Warhammer figurines, because again, that is the kind of person that I am. But you might be wondering, since this is this was created by a guy that was involved with the creation of Evangelion, and as we watched 3 episodes, and Lucy told me it's just all on YouTube, so we'll make sure we post the link for that below. Try not to get it taken off of YouTube this time, because when we did that with G Gundam, it immediately got taken out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I went old school and watched it on kissanime.ru.
Jesus.
Motherfuckers over there breaking sanctions to watch Fooly Coolie.
I thought I was going to have to sign up for like an account on Crunchyroll, which is our like anime app thing. And I was
I have that as well.
Cursing you, Joe. I was like, $10. I'm not doing this.
No, and I have Crunchyroll. They only have the sequel season.
I saw that. Yeah. But it is on YouTube.
Yep. I found it on a different pirating site. I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to post the links to that in Patreon, or I'll make Patreon really mad, but I feel like YouTube's probably safe. But that also, small side note here, don't watch the sequel series. They have None of the original creators are involved. I watched 2 of them. They're not good. They're not really connected either. So you probably saw a lot of things that you could like, oh, this is trying to say something, right? There's a lot of symbolism here. Well, the creator of the show himself said that he was really surprised the show got popular in the United States because even critics in Japan called the show, quote, incoherent, which he did on purpose. When he's asked about it, like, Anno, when it comes to Evangelion, will constantly explain things. He'll also retcon them and come up with new shit because he refuses to just let shit lie. But this guy doesn't. He was interviewed by an American anime outlet, and he said comprehension should not be an important factor of Fooly Coolie.
The Virgin Anno versus the Chad Tsurumaki.
Yeah, and I kind of like that because it allows you to make it anything. So depending on when you watch the show, like I watched it when I was a very emotional teenager as opposed to a very emotional nearly 40-year-old man. And so it could just like kind of become anything I wanted it to be. And it's a completely hyperactive show, for a lack of a better term. There's a lot going on in virtually every scene. There's in jokes, there's weird pop culture jokes. They break the fourth wall. It's a lot. And I fucking love it. It's
really overstimulating in part because the music, the soundtrack is playing the whole time. I felt like I was at like a noise show with like the most annoying guy I've ever met trying to explain something to me.
Yeah, that's just called hanging out with me. Yeah.
I was about to ask Lucy, how many of your ex-boyfriends does that describe?
Pretty much all of them. Yeah.
I mean, one of the first, we were joking about this before we started recording, but so we watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 out of 6. So this is not a huge investment if you want to watch along with us. We're immediately introduced to our main character, Naota, and his very strange friend, Mamimi, who is Naota's kind of sort of brother's ex-girlfriend, and she is an older girl who spends her time ditching school and hanging out under the local bridge and chain smoking. I have dated this girl.
I have been this girl.
I want to stop you there, Joe, and just say that like you asked me to be on this show, which I agreed to because I was in a good mood at the time, and I was like, that sounds like fun. And I put it on, and the literal first scene is like an upskirt of a teenage girl. And I was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, this show is strangely horny throughout. I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of forgot about a lot of that.
This is why I was justified in my decision of like, I went to the gym and I was like, oh, I'm going to like watch it when I get home. Cause usually I'll either watch this stuff like walking on the treadmill after I work out. And I was like, I'm really happy I didn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, there's more offensive shit out there by far. But in the early 2000s, this was very horny. I think a lot of it has to do with like the themes of growing up in puberty through the eyes of an adult Japanese man who worked with Hideki Anno for too long.
I think as well as like it's fairly like innocent. It's like through the eyes of like a 12-year-old boy who's like, I suppose, developing and becoming curious about this sort of stuff. So
yeah, I mean that's a good way of seeing it. It's also like he's surrounded by the most toxic fucking people on earth.
It's a lot of very sexually aggressive women in this show. I just think Mamimi shouldn't be allowed within 200 meters of a school. Like,
probably a good call. It's probably a good call. I mean, she is certainly more than 200 meters away from her own school because I don't think she ever goes.
So we get established very on that like nothing ever happens in the town except for the giant iron on the hill that's like a medical facility that blows steam out of it.
It's the Medical Mechanica factory, a factory which has no doors for people to enter and nobody ever asks questions about it. It doesn't seem to employ anybody either, because how could you, other than like a couple security guards? And that's a very good angsty teen way to look at your hometown. You know, this place sucks. Nothing ever happens here. I hate it. Again, this hit differently when I was 13 or 14 or however old I was, despite the fact I'm from Detroit, where there's always a lot of stuff happening. But when you're an angsty little shithead, you know, the world is a weird place.
See, I didn't experience that because where I grew up had lots of fields. And you know what's great to do in fields? Drink alcohol away from your parents.
Yeah, I also did that. Drinking at a bonfire. Yeah.
So, yeah, we also then got to Mamimi like taking Naoto's money to buy a drink. That is the most like dirtbag ex-girlfriend move ever, and I love it.
Like I said, I have dated multiple Mimimis in my life.